Hi everybody, my name is Jenny Caslin, and for my video field trip assignment, I decided to go and visit Las Plumas High School in Oroville, California. The reason I decided to choose this high school was that I knew already that they had really great greenhouses. I had just never personally been inside. Also, this location was fairly close to my high school, so it was pretty easy to be able to drop by after school. So what I ended up doing was meeting up with Mr. Knapp at the high school and tried to kind of pick his brain and see where he was going at with his horticulture program and what makes a good horticulture program. And the reasoning behind this is our high school has just recently been involved in a CTE grant where we can go ahead and apply different types of money to build new pathways. And what we're hoping to do at Gridley is implement an ornamental horticulture and a floral science pathway. And the reasoning behind this is because we just added floral as our F area art requirement credit, and it's taken off and it's been fantastic. But we really need to vamp up our ornamental horticulture at the school itself. Right now we currently have a greenhouse that's not even in use. They're missing a sump pump, a few other things, and to be honest, I don't know the last time it was actually in full production mode. Whoever put the greenhouse in 13 years ago had it put in behind a building so it doesn't even get full sun like a normal greenhouse should. So needless to say, my background as an ag science teacher is actually in animal science. So this whole horticulture plant thing is brand new to me. And I have taken floral before, so like I said, that class it's off and running, but my problem seems to be the ornamental horticulture, and I know how passionate Mr. Knapp at Las Plumas High School is, so I decided to go there and take a look around. If you want to check out the next couple of videos and some pictures, and then I'll come back and talk to you guys again.
One of the big things is, so trying to get kids to do this,
Alright, so now after looking some of the pictures, you can see that they have really great greenhouse construction. I wish I went there a little bit earlier in the day to get better pictures, but I still thought it was really cool what they were doing with it. Now, to be specific, they don't have an OH class anymore. So what they're doing is having some of their floral classes actually put plants in the greenhouse. But talking to Mr. Knapp, what their whole high school team is looking at is creating now another ornamental horticulture pathway in the next year or two. And so they're really hoping to implement it again, especially because they have 3 greenhouses there on site. So that kind of brings me to my next component of exactly what components make a successful model. And I asked Mr. Knapp this a bunch. And he kept using the word viable. And I really like that word because what he was saying was that you really need to have a work-based learning program. So what that means is students in the horticulture class go and grow the plants. They then market the plants and sell the plants. And either they get back some of the profit and the school gets back some of the profit. So it's kind of turned into this mini SAE. He liked to state that he usually finds about, anywhere from 5 to 15 kids in each class that really take this seriously. And they put a lot of passion and time into growing these plants, figuring out what pots they're good for, how much they can sell these arrangements for, and then the different avenues for them to go and sell them at. So some of the places that they would go and sell are local farmers markets and craft fairs, and then they would have plant sales on campus. So what he was telling me, in order to make horticulture viable, you have to be sure that you have student buy-in for work-based learning. And these different types of things include different plant sales, as well as showing students, kind of the maintenance and repair, as well as the science behind growing things in ornamental horticulture. So what he did say, though, was that in order to implement a successful ornamental horticulture class, you do have to have some sort of excitement and buy-in. So if you can convince kids to join horticulture in order to be on a certain specific CDE team, or even that they might make money through doing their SAE and that this can be their responsibility, it's important to kind of grab kids in and bring them back to the excitement of plants. Especially because right now, especially in our Butte County area, most students are really fascinated and want to be involved in the animal livestock projects, but they kind of tend to forget a little bit about the plant science side. So Mr. Knapp was saying You know, it's really important that you show kids how many jobs and careers are out there as well, and how this will benefit them when they go to college and they want to get a PCA license or get a job in the agriculture industry. It's really important that we are able to show our students how many jobs are available to them.
As part of class, they built all the forms, but I worked their butts.
That is awesome.
I worked them.
Okay, so what I was talking about with that work-based learning in this voice memo clip, which I hope you can hear, I'm going to try, Mr. Knapp kind of explains what he had his seniors do in order for this program to be viable. So let me go ahead and play this recording for you.
They plant your plants, they do the flats. When we were doing farmers market, I had my seniors who could drive. I get them out on the field trip. They go down every Wednesday. My class in the morning. I like morning classes, less warm.
Yeah.
My class between 9 and 10 would load up the pickup, their pickup. They would take off the farmer's market. I'd get them out of school.
For the whole day?
Field trip.
Okay.
Yep, they're on a field trip.
That's cool.
And they would work their SAE.
So that's some like work-based learning in there too.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, I hope you could hear that okay. Let me take a second to show a few more pictures. All right, so to kind of conclude my reflection on implementation, this whole horticulture plant science pathway that Gridley, my high school, is actually going towards, I think it can happen and I think it can be really good. But after sitting and talking with Mr. Knapp for over 2 hours, just kind of about program development, pathway development, and then throwing a class like ornamental horticulture or floral into that, it's definitely got its challenges. You have to upkeep. That is the main component I took about, and you have to make sure that these programs are viable. They're self-sustaining, they make money, and students have a buy-in to want to come back. Also, he said it was really important that you get kids in these classes and then you take them on field trips and you make them part of your CDE teams. And you kind of give them a lot of responsibility and provide that work-based learning opportunity. So for me, I can't wait to implement this new pathway. Like I said before, this is brand new material for me as well, so I'll definitely be learning. I think for myself, the best thing to do to go from here would be to visit a few other schools who also have great ornamental horticulture pathways. And then also shoot some emails out. I want to know exactly when to plant certain plants, how much to sell them for, how to keep things up and running, just to make sure that I'm doing a good job for these students and making sure that this program and pathway at Gridley is something that's going to put these kids straight into a workforce if they choose, or set them up good for a college pathway. So this was a really awesome opportunity, and I'm really glad that this was part of an assignment. I think I got some really good information and kind of peer counseling from Mr. Knapp that I really appreciated. So this has been a really good experience, and I hope to implement this soon.